Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Have you ever met someone who just seems to have all the answers? They know how to manipulate people into doing what they want, and they always seem to get their way. You can't help but wonder, how do they do it? What makes them so special? Well, it's not what you think. It's not their looks, their status, or their money. It's their communication style. Specifically, their ability to use a dark ego. The dark ego is a term coined by Dr. Samin Vazir, and it refers to a person as unconscious defense mechanism that protects their fragile ego from any perceived or real threat. This defense mechanism often manifests itself in relationships as a form of manipulation and control. People with a strong dark ego always need to be right. They never admit fault, and they often blame others for their own mistakes. This behavior can be frustrating and upsetting to those around them, but it's really just a sign of a deep-seated insecurity. People with a strong dark ego are controlled by their negative thoughts. They're constantly looking for threats in everything and everyone, and they're always on the lookout for ways to protect themselves. This can make them seem manipulative and controlling, but it's really just a desperate attempt to stay one step ahead of the world. When dealing with people who exhibit strong dark ego behaviors, it's important to remember that they're not intentionally trying to hurt you. They're simply acting out of desperation. These individuals have been burned badly in the past, and they're afraid of getting hurt again. As a result, they build up walls to keep people out. But behind those walls, they still crave connection and intimacy. One way people with a strong dark ego manifest this behavior is by being overly critical. They may constantly find fault with everything and everyone around them, but at the core, they're really just looking for approval. By finding fault, they feel like they have something to control in an otherwise unpredictable world. Another way people with a strong dark ego manifest this behavior is by being overly sensitive. They may feel threatened by constructive criticism or any feedback that doesn't align with their own self. This sensitivity stems from a deep-seated fear of rejection and abandonment. Now, it's important to note that having a strong dark ego isn't necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it can be beneficial in some situations. For example, when faced with a threat, a strong dark ego can help protect a person from harm. However, when faced with non-life-threatening situations, such as interpersonal conflicts, a strong dark ego can be detrimental to a person's relationships and overall well-being. If you're dealing with someone who has a strong dark ego, there are a few things you can do to help them get past it. First, try to understand that they're not intentionally trying to hurt you. Their behavior is simply a result of their own pain and insecurity. Second, don't take their behavior personally. It's not a reflection on you as a person. And third, try to be patient. It takes time for someone to break down their walls and open up. But if you can do it, you'll be rewarded with a deep and meaningful relationship. In conclusion, the dark ego is a powerful force that can either protect us or harm us. When faced with a life-threatening situation, it can keep us safe. But in non-life-threatening situations, it can cause us pain and suffering. The key is to be aware of our own dark ego and how it manifests itself in our relationships. If we can do that, we can create more fulfilling and meaningful connections with the people in our lives. So do you see anyone who has a strong dark ego? Maybe it's someone you know, or maybe it's even you. If you can recognize the signs of a strong dark ego, you can take steps to protect yourself and others from its harmful effects. Remember, the dark ego isn't always obvious. It can be hidden behind charming smiles and charismatic, but once you know what to look for, you can spot it from a mile away. Don't let the dark ego win. Be aware of its signs and take action to protect yourself. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share it with your friends. We appreciate your support and hope you continue to tune in for more insightful mental health content. Thanks for watching. Take care.